Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. If you are new here, my name is Nishitha. Please take a moment to hit the subscribe button. I upload videos every Sunday and Thursday at 9 a.m. PST. Today's video is going to be kind of like a get ready with me because I'm going somewhere now. I'm going to temple actually. But the point of this get ready with me is that I have a bunch of new makeup that I want to test out. I don't have a full face, but I do have a fair amount of new products that I want to test out on camera with you guys. The main star of the show is this eyeshadow palette. This is the look I created with this palette, and guess how much the price of this? It's $10. It's only $10. I got this from Target. You can also find this at Walmart, I think. So I'm just gonna sit here, do my makeup, share some new products that I recently purchased, and then we're gonna wear this makeup for the rest of my day and we'll see how everything holds up. So let's get started with this makeup look right now. So first, I'm gonna do my eyes. I have this palette called Wanderlust. This is Profusion Cosmetics. It's $10 and you get so many colors, and they also have name written on them, and you do get a lot of different shades. So I'm curious to see how this works out on my eyes. I think I have used this before, just these tones. They did blend out beautifully, but today I'm curious to play with the shimmers and see how they perform. Before that, I'm going to use some primer. This is from Urban Decay Primer Potion. I'll probably stick to these greens and blues because I haven't done like a green or blue smoky eye in so long. So I'm itching to try it out. First, I'm taking the shade Statement and start buffing that onto my crease using a fluffy crease brush. Okay, that blends really nice. I'm gonna speed up through the process. I'm just going to mention what eyeshadows I'm gonna apply. Otherwise, this video would be really long. So this shade Serious did take some time for me to build up the pigment, but I used my fingers and I also wet my brush. Then I could get the shade to look really intense. Right off the bat, they're not the most pigmented shimmery, but it's very reflective and I love the color. But you can totally build it up. You just have to be patient. Guys, I'm loving this eyeshadow palette. It performed so well. The first shade that I used was a little bit difficult to work with. You do have to build up the pigmentation. Either use your fingers or wet your brush. But whereas the other two shades, they both blended out beautifully. And even the shade Enigma that I used in my outer corners, the deep matte blue shade, even that blended out beautifully. I'm curious to see how this purple blends out, but for another day. I think I'm already looking crazy and I'm going to a temple with such a loud makeup. I'm gonna get some stares, but who cares? My love for makeup comes first. And surprisingly, I didn't get a lot of fallout, probably because I wet my brush. But I don't see a lot of fallout. Oh, maybe a little bit in this area, but nothing too crazy. But I would recommend you do your eye makeup first. I cannot believe this palette is only $10. I love the look I created. It's the transition of all the blues from lighter to, mid-tone and then deeper blue. But I know this whole look will come together once I do the rest of my makeup. So let's move on to base. So I have this primer from Flower Beauty. It's called their Supernova Celestial Skin Elixir. I heard about this from Thanuja. I will link her channel down below. I highly recommend you check out her page. her YouTube channel because she has amazing lifestyle content and makeup reviews and even outfit ideas like all Indian jewelry. She talks all about that. So I highly recommend you check her channel out. So she raved about this in one of her videos. I wanted to try this out for the longest time, but it was always out of stock. So it finally came back in stock, and Flavor Beauty was doing like, buy 3 get 1 off on the Ulta website. So I thought, it would be a great time to save some money and also try out this product. It's like a primer. It's supposed to brighten, smoothen, and also like, give you this nice glow to your skin. So we'll see how this performs. I'm just going to add some. I do see some like, sheeny particles inside this. We'll see if it shows up on the skin. This smells like something. It smells like lavender actually. It smells like essential oils too. I can't put my finger on it, but the smell is really familiar. I hope it doesn't break me out. Yeah, that gave my skin like a beautiful glow. As a primer, it's doing a good job. It is adding beautiful hydration to my skin. But I don't see it like, blurring any of my pores. I don't think it's meant to do that. But let's see how the foundation and everything blends on top of this. The foundation, I'm not using like a new foundation. This is the LA Girl foundation. I've done a review on this. I will link that review down below for you guys. But I want to try out the Dior Air Flash foundation. I've had this for like almost like 2 years now. I'm a little bit embarrassed saying that. I'm sure it's expired by now. But let's try it. I paid like I think $62 or something. I'm not ready to throw it away yet. I got the shade 501. Dior shade range, at least in those days, it used to suck. This was the only shade that I could find for my skin tone, but it is a little bit dark. It's like a aerosol can. You spray the foundation onto your beauty sponge and then start stamping that onto your skin. This is definitely a little bit dark. Let me swatch it for you guys. So it's like, orange, and it's a lot darker than my skin tone. So that's why I decided to like, mix these two together and see how it wears. Because, I heard so many good reviews about this, and one of my cousin, she swears by this. This is the only foundation she uses, and she's the one who introduced me to this foundation before. So that's why I'm curious to, try it again and see how I feel about it now. So I'm going to like add a few drops of the Illegal foundation and then add a little bit of this. And then mix these two together on the back of my hand. My own little concoction here. And use my beauty blender to blend it all out. Okay, my skin is looking extra dewy. I don't know if it's the oil underneath. I think it's mostly the oil underneath, and even the foundations I used on top are more on the hydrating side. But once I powder my skin, I think it will be okay. But at this point, I'm looking like extra shiny. I haven't used the Dior foundation in such a long time, but I feel like it's playing a major role in making this foundation concoction work way better on my skin, because I love how my base looks right now. It looks like my skin but better, but everything evened out, and I am getting like really good coverage from both the foundations. The Dior one, I think it's a medium coverage, and even the LA Girl one, it's a medium coverage. So you can build it up, but I feel like I'm happy with the coverage that I have right now. So I'm gonna let the foundation dry down for a bit, and I'm gonna quickly do my brows off camera. I don't have a new brow pencil to try out today, but I'm gonna quickly fill them in and be right back. Then I have this Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer that I want to test out. So I have used this concealer once before, and I used a very little bit of it at that time. I felt like it blended out beautifully. It gave me a really good coverage. But I also noticed that at the end of the day, I did see some creasing underneath the eyes. So I want to try it out once again before I, share my opinion. So as you can see, it gives like a decent amount of coverage, and I used a very little bit of it. It's very easy to blend out. It feels hydrating underneath the eyes. It's not at all drying. I could definitely use a shade lighter than this just to brighten up underneath the eyes. But since I don't have that, I'm just going to use this. Then for contouring, I'm taking my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is in the shade Deep. So I'm going to use this to bronze up my skin. Should have totally done this before the concealer. Just so you know, I can use the concealer to clean up. But let's just do it. So I don't have a new powder to test out, so I'm going to use my Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. Slightly dust this underneath the eyes. And before I dust off the excess powder, I'm just going to work on my lower lash line using the palette. Before I apply the rest of my makeup, I want to set my whole base using the same Laura Mercier powder. I'm just going to dip this powder brush in the powder and tap off the excess because I don't want too much powder because then it can look cakey. Then just slightly dust it all over. Because I know that the LA Girl one is not transfer resistant, you definitely have to set it, otherwise it's going to move places. Then I have this Lancome eyelash primer that I got in my Sephora play this month. So I want to try this one out. And for mascara, I have the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Waterproof Mascara. This is, I think it's a new one and I heard good things about this. So on one side, I'm going to apply the primer and then go in with the mascara. And on the other side, I just want to add the mascara and see if the primer makes any difference. And I also want to see how the, mascara does on its own. So the mascara, I think it's more of a lengthening mascara. I don't see a lot of volume and I personally prefer any of my mascaras to give me a volume over length. And this one is not doing that. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. And I feel like the primer didn't do this mascara any good. I have to use the primer with some of my other mascaras and see. But the mascara on its own, it's lengthening, but it's not volumizing. So, okay, so I did 2 layers of the mascara and I feel like it added a little bit, a tad bit more volume with the second layer. I just prefer something that's going to add more volume over length. Moving back to face, I'm going to use this Pixie highlighter, Pixie by Petra. This is in the shade Subtle Sunrise. I remember I used to love this highlighter so much. I don't know why I ever stopped using it. Just, trying other new makeup kind of gets in there. Look at the glow that it adds. But it doesn't look like, glittery or chunky. I love this highlighter. Then I'm going to use the Beauty Blender to press the product in. For blush, I'm taking the Flower Pots Powder Blush in the shade Peach Primrose. I love this blush so much. It just gives a nice natural flush. It's pigmented, so you have to use a light hand. But I find that it stays all day long. It's very long wearing. And I love the color and the way it blends out on my skin. I'm trying not to use too much of this because, the eyes are already loud. So I kind of want to mute down the other parts of my makeup a little bit. Next, I'm going to use the Tatcha Satin Skin Mist. I know their Dewy Mist is very hyped about, but for some reason, I never got into it, probably because of the price range. But this time I had a gift card. When I moved away from Arizona, my friends gifted me a Sephora gift card. So I thought I would buy this. And we'll see how this performs. So I can see that, if you let the setting spray sit for a bit, you can see that, segments of powder separating from the liquid itself. So I'm making sure I shake the bottle really well and then just go in. I have to say, the mist on this is super fine. It's a really nice continuous mist. This is more for normal to oily skin types. For lips, I have this Bare Minerals Bare Pro lipstick in the shade Geranium. I heard Thanuja talk about this. I knew I had to pick this one up. So I'm just going to apply this. Love the color. I'm going to quickly sort out my hair and be right back. So that's the makeup look finished. Now I'm gonna wear this for the rest of my day. I finished my makeup around 10:30 or so. Now it's currently 11 o'clock. So I'm gonna wear it, I'm gonna go to the temple. I actually have 108 rounds to do. It's called like a pact that I make with God to make my wishes come true. If you're Indian, especially if you're a South Indian, you would know what this means. But anyway, so I'm gonna go. I have to make 108 rounds. I'll be walking, I won't be running. I'm curious to see how this makeup wears throughout the day. If you're curious too, just stay tuned. Hey guys, so this is the whole makeup look. I'm just standing by my window so you guys can see how it looks in natural light. The foundation is looking good, even the eye makeup is going strong. I mean, it's been only half an hour since I wore it, but I just wanted you guys to see how it looks in the natural light, especially my base makeup. Hey guys, I'm back and it's currently 7:40 p.m. right now. So I've had this whole makeup on my skin for almost 9 hours at this point. And I have to say, it held up really well. First, the eyeshadow palette, I think the eyeshadows are still on there. I do see some glitter fallout in this area, probably from the first shade because it has specks of glitter. That's why it's very reflective. I do see some those glitter particles here, but other than that the eyeshadows did really good. I used only 3 shades. I used the matte shades, but this palette seems really promising. I would say for $10 you could definitely give this one a try, because if you want to experiment with color but you don't want to spend big money on it, this palette is a great start for that. Moving on to the skin elixir, I think it's really good if you want to add extra glow to your skin and also some hydration. If you have dry skin, I'd say give this one a try. If you have normal skin, instead of applying this in your T-zone, probably concentrate this on the high points of your face, wherever you want to add some extra glow. And one more thing that I'm noticing is that it did leave tiny specks of glitter, not all over my face, but in some spots I do see the glitter. That I could do without. Other than that, I honestly have nothing bad to say about this product, but then again I want to use it a little bit more before I recommend it to you guys. So the LA Girl foundation is really good. I know I already like this foundation. It transfers a little bit, so you do want to set your whole makeup in place with some powder. But other than that, this is a great foundation, so there is nothing much to talk about this. Whereas this, I want to get a shade lighter, because as soon as I apply this on my skin, I just loved the finish. I just loved how smooth it made my skin look. I'm really excited to see if they have expanded their shade range. I hope they did. You know what? Let's check that right now. I think they did expand the shade range. They have 25 shades. What I remember was I think they had 10 or 12 shades. I'm not sure, don't quote me on it, but I think they did expand their shade range. I really want to try this foundation again with a shade that matches my skin, because I just loved the finish of this. Hey guys, so I did pick up the shade 4W in the Air Flash foundation, and I have to say I really love the formula. It has a natural finish, and it stays matte for a really long time. It doesn't make me look oily or shiny even in my T-zone. I really love this foundation. $62, it's a bit pricey, but if you're willing to splurge the money for a natural looking foundation which is going to make your skin look really smooth, I'd say definitely give this one a try. 4W is still a little bit light on me, but that's the only shade that comes close to my skin tone. I usually use it with the color corrector around my mouth. That's where it usually pulls ashy, but other than that, I really love the foundation and I highly recommend it. And the concealer, I think it did its job. It gave me really good coverage, but if you have extreme dark circles, I don't think this would be enough to cover all of it. You probably might have to use a color corrector underneath, but for my under eyes, it did a pretty decent job. It feels lightweight underneath my eyes. It's not at all drying and it blends out beautifully. It hasn't creased today, but it is slightly settling into my lines. That could happen with any concealer. And the blush, I have been testing this out for the past 1 week or so. This is not like a first impressions, but this blush is very new to my collection, and I have to say I love it and I highly recommend you try it out. The color Peach Primrose is very complimenting for Indian skin tones. I love warm toned blushes like these. I think they work with my skin tone really well. But anyways, it's very long lasting. It blends out beautifully. It's pretty pigmented, so make sure you use a light hand and slowly build up the pigmentation, but it's very long wearing. I used a very little bit of this. I used a very light hand and I can still see the blush on my skin. Maybe on camera it's not visible as much, but in person I can still see the blush on my skin. So highly recommend this blush. And the mascara, if you're someone who likes a good lengthening mascara, I would say give this one a try because it's been 11 hours and I don't see any crummies underneath my eyes at all. Usually some mascaras, they do give me that fallout, the black crummies, which I hate. But whereas this one, it didn't do that. But my problem with this is that it doesn't give me the volume that I like. So that's the reason I wouldn't say this is like my favorite mascara of all time. But if you're someone who is looking for a good lengthening mascara, which is going to stay throughout the day and not give you those weird crummies, I would say definitely give this one a try. So this primer, I don't think with this mascara it worked really well. Both the eyes, I don't see any difference. It could be either the mascara or the primer. I'm not really sure. So I'm going to use this with, other mascaras that I have in my collection and see if it does anything. But whereas with this mascara today, it didn't do anything much. Moving on to the satin skin mist. So it's $48 freaking dollars. It's expensive. Like, all Tatcha products are expensive. But I don't think this particular product is worth the money. So this has, I was just reading the claims, this has clay segments in it, which is going to blur your pores, just soften out your skin tone and also keep oils at the bay. This actually has clay particles in it. If you let it sit like that, you can see the separation at the bottom. So the first day I didn't read the claims and I was curious to see, since it's $48 and it's Tatcha, which is a really high brand, I wanted to see how it works. And I was so stupid to not shake it before I used it. I just sprayed it all over my face and I could see like white film on my face because it was just powder sitting on top of the skin and it looked horrible. I had to take off all of my makeup, then do it all over again because of this mist. It looked like dandruff in my hair when I, misted it. So make sure if you're trying this out, make sure you shake the bottle well or read how to use this. The mist on this is super fine. I love the mist on this, but formula wise, I don't think it did anything revolutionary for my skin. My oils are still peeking through because I know the illegal foundation, when I wear it for this long, it does make me oily a little bit. But I don't think this setting spray did anything. For $48 freaking dollars, I expected it to do something amazing. But honestly, it did not. This is not just for makeup. You can also use this as a skincare. Like that's what the claims say at least. But for $48, I don't think it's worth it. You could totally pass on this. Moving on to the Bare Minerals lipstick. I love the packaging of this. It's perfect to throw into your purse because it's very sleek. And even the bullet itself, it's designed in a way which makes it perfect for you to line your lips. You don't have to use the lip liner, especially with these kinds of lipsticks. And the formula itself, it glides on beautifully. It does not tug at your lips. It's very opaque. It dries down matte. And even when you apply it, you can tell right away that it's a matte formula. But I absolutely love the color and the way it wore throughout the day. I got like a 3 to 4 hours wear time from this. I had to reapply it after that. It's not a long wearing lipstick obviously because it's a traditional bullet lipstick and it's very comfortable on your lips. It's not overly drying, and even when it faded away beautifully. Like it didn't leave like any bald spots on my lips or made my lips look weird. I love the color and I can't wait to wear this more. So that completes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the wear test. I obviously couldn't make my opinion about few products, but I will keep you guys updated. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and join the family. Also give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.